Tonight on News 5 Live, the High Court has thrown out Shine Barrow's contempt claims against Tracy Tager Panton, allowing the Albert area rep to freely call herself the UDP party leader. Meanwhile, Barrow lost his cool and called reporter an ignoramus. The Christian Workers Union is fuming at the government and has issued a stern warning about its stevedores. And in other news, Ivan Ayuso has been sentenced to 5 years for stealing and embezzling over $1 million from the Sports Council. These stories and more are coming up at the top of the hour.
They'll name you 100 reasons to step back. But when you achieve your goal, they will follow you. Gorilla, make some noise.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, February 14th. I'm Jamie Rock. There's big news from the United Democratic Party. With less than a month to go before the general election, Albert Area Representative Tracy Tager Panton has secured a legal victory in the High Court. Earlier today, Justice Honduras threw out the contempt claims against the head of the Alliance for Democracy, which were brought by Moses Shine Barrow late last year. Barrow, along with his attorney, Christopher Malcolm, had pointed to a November 2024 court ruling that called for return to the previous status quo. But the court has now made it clear that this ruling only applied to the occupation of the UDP headquarters on Youth for the Future Drive in Belize City. Sheena Pitts, who was appointed chairperson by Panton, sheds more light on the decision.
On their contention, they are saying status quo ante refers to him being definitively the party leader, and that when the order was granted, it definitively established that he is the party leader. And on our case, the position of the Honorable Panton and her learned attorney is that that is not what the order established. And what was argued before determining contempt or any injunctive relief is exactly what did the order grant. And so in the backdrop was, remember, you will recall, a claim was filed for possession. And the claim for possession was filed in relation to the headquarters. And attendant to the claim was the application for interim relief. And so when the interim relief was granted, it was granted in relation to possession of the headquarters. And so on the contention of the Honorable Panton and her learned attorney, Peter Knox KC, is that the order is confined to just that, and the status quo ante refer in its context to the claim for possession and the possession of the headquarters. So it would not be true and correct to say that when the order was granted, it extended itself to definitively declaring the Honorable Shine Barrow party leader. And I can tell you, hastening to the conclusion by the court, that the court agreed with Peter Knox KC that the order of November 8 did not definitively establish that the party leader is Barrow, because that question remains to be determined, and that the order issued November 8 is limited to trespass where possession was granted back to Barrow.
This afternoon, at a press conference at the UDP headquarters, Shine Barrow addressed the dismissal of his contempt claims. He argued that despite Justice Honduras' decision, the leadership of the party remains unchanged. Barrow's remarks have certainly stirred the political pot, leaving many to wonder what's next for the UDP.
The applications that were filed by myself and the UDP Central Executive, Ugo Pat, Michael Perfit, Alberto August, Sherry Medina, application for contempt and an application to restrain the defendant, Ms. Panton, from passing herself off as UDP leader and other related orders, they were both dismissed.
How does this impact you going forward into the election?
Well, it is not
Ideal.
it's not ideal, but nothing has changed, which is evident as to where you are right now. The UDP headquarters and the Guardian, the Wave, the operations of the UDP remain as it was ordered in the November 8th order, which is to return to the Central Executive of the UDP. I will share with you that the defendant's, Tracy's lawyer, Senior Counsel Knox, pleaded to the court that this is a matter of free speech and that his client is free to say whatever she wants, because what she is saying has no impact on my operation and function as leader. According to Senior Counsel Knox, there has been no injury or no interference with my function as leader. I've removed candidates, I have elected new candidates, and I have continued to function as the party leader. So she could say whatever she wants, but I continue to function as party leader, controlling all of the assets and operations of the party.
Shine Barrow has also taken legal action against Panton, aiming to stop her from calling herself the leader of the United Democratic Party. Barrow argued that this violated the court's November ruling to maintain the status quo. According to Sheena Pitts, the alliance's chairperson, Panton, and her supporters, as well as the media, are free to refer to her as a leader under freedom of speech.
The second aspect of the proceedings this morning is based on whether or not the Honorable Panton could be restrained or gagged from saying anything in relation to the UDP headquarters, whether or not she could be gagged from holding herself out as the interim leader, and that sort of thing. And I have to point out that that application also included in it that the order was intended to extend over to parties who are not parties to the proceeding, namely Hot Off the Press, Orson J. Elrington, Mr. John Saldivar, and unfortunately myself, who have zero social media presence. And so what really was showed today in arguments is that if it is that contempt having not been established based on your alleged breach, then there can be no subsequent order to gag anyone where your application for injunctive relief is based on contempt. So essentially, this morning, parts of the arguments really entailed freedom of speech and whether freedom of speech could be impeded by any injunctive relief, especially freedom of speech in a political space. And so having gone through the legal authorities, having listened to the arguments, the court concluded that the second application to injunct or restrain the Honorable Panton and her associates and those persons I named before from exercising freedom of speech, it cannot be obtained, and the order as per it could not be granted. So effectively, both applications by Barrow failed. And at the end, the principle where cost follows the event, it meant that Honorable Panton and her learned attorneys are entitled to costs of the two unsuccessful applications.
Earlier this week, News 5 caught up with opposition leader Shine Barrow after the election date was announced. During our interview, the Mesopotamia area rep didn't hold back, criticizing us for letting Tracy Tager Panton call herself the leader of the United Democratic Party. Barrow was so sure of his stance that he outright dismissed any idea that she could or should be called the UDP leader. However, Justice Hondura's recent dismissal of Barrow's contempt claims has turned that position on its head, along with his belief that we were complicit in allowing Panton to use the title. Here's what he said on Tuesday.
Certainly, I believe your media house has been somewhat irresponsible. I think that you have not followed the law as far as what the decision of the court has been, and you have been willfully complicit in the confusion that we have out there in the public, because if I say I'm Prime Minister, that doesn't make me Prime Minister. So someone claiming to be leader of the UDP with a fake event that was not in any way sanctioned are authorized by the United Democratic Party, the people who were legitimately elected as the executive. The fact that Channel 5 even gives any credence to that, when any lawyer will tell you that there is no way that any court will rule that October 20th was in fact a legitimate event of the UDP. So it's very, very irresponsible of Channel 5 to even accept that there is any remote possibility of two leaders. There is one leader of the UDP, and clearly when the judge in the High Court, Justice Handora, returned the property of the UDP to the central executive of the UDP, that was deliberate, and that was not Tracy Panton. So I don't see how you will listen to her and not listen to the court.
King's counsel Peter Knox, representing Tracy Tager Panton, successfully argued that under freedom of speech, his client can call herself the party leader. However, Shine Barrow insists that despite this decision, he and his central executive still have control over the party's assets.
There are different layers here. The application for restraining order focused on her passing herself off as leader. So that was a speech issue. And with all respect to Justice Handora, I don't remember a defamation case or case of speech, lying or whatever, that has ever gotten an interim injunction. So that matter is not completely resolved. It's just that we won't get an interim restraining order, but there still will be damages at trial if we are victorious in our position, which the main claim is that she should have been restrained and that, you know, there is only one leader on October 20th was invalid. Furthermore, the restraining order centered on her passing herself off as leader. The issue as to assets of the UDP has not changed. So the assets of the UDP, the Guardian, Wave, the UDP logo, that has not changed. So I don't see how she can say that she has now gotten permission to use our assets, right? If not, then the judge would have amended the order and put her back in the headquarters and say, all right, well, you know what, you go upstairs and she go downstairs.
Barrow's initial reaction focused heavily on the central executive holding on to the party's assets. However, he did admit that it would have been beneficial, not just for him, but also for the public as well, to have a clear-cut clarification. Despite everything, he remains in the UDP headquarters, firmly in control as the central executive.
That is evidenced by where I sit right now. That is evidenced by control of all of the party assets, including our logo, our letterhead, etc. So the judge did not amend the November 8th order to say that anyone can use the party assets, anyone can make use of the party organs, etc., etc. So that remains in place, and we will make that argument to Election and Boundaries, and if need be, we'll go back to court.
But what you said is inconsequential, because your reality has just changed with today's decision. The fact is that Tracy Panton will claim she is rightfully, currently as things stand, a member of the UDP, and that's how she will present herself to the electorate.
Well, she's been doing that.
Yes, but you wanted that to be stopped.
Indeed.
And this decision has denied you that.
Yes.
So what are you going to say now to the UDP members, and what is it going to look like in terms of the slate that you present? You will have your 31 Shine Barrow UDP candidates, and you expect her to do the same or just present, I think, 18 or 16 that she said?
She was going to do that regardless, in our humble opinion. So nothing really changes other than the Election and Boundaries will have to make a determination based on totality of facts.
Coming up, Tracy Panton is preparing to announce her standard bearer picks.
In 2024, Belize stands strong, progressing with determination under Plan Belize. Together we are building a safer, more prosperous nation, guided by vision, resilience, and innovation. To ensure safety and accountability, we appointed the Firearms and Ammunition Control Board. With modernized systems, international best practices, and tighter oversight, we are revolutionizing firearm regulations for the protection of every Belizean. With the new Lotus Wellness Center and nationwide police station upgrades, we're transforming how we support those who serve and protect us. In 2024, we took that commitment even further, empowering 96 more police officers to become first-time landowners, bringing the total number of land titles issued to over 400. Through a collaboration between the Ministries of Home Affairs, Natural Resources, and the Belize Police Association, we're not only investing in their mental and emotional well-being, but also in their long-term stability. Because a supported and secure force is a stronger force. At the Fort Belize Forensic Science Symposium, we showcased how data drives progress. From reducing gender-based violence to advancing DNA legislation, we're enhancing citizen security and strengthening public trust through science and innovation. Belize's future is also green and growing. By reactivating the Hemp Industry Oversight Committee, we're positioning Belize as a leader in hemp research, marketing, and investment, creating new opportunities for sustainable economic growth. In 2024, we proved once again that hard work delivers results, from public safety to economic transformation. Plan Belize is a promise we are fulfilling together. For Belize, for the future, let's keep building together.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you. I don't.
You used to call me on my cell phone late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that thought line bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that thought line bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time for switch up and run, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's Smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
Throughout the Civic Center, News 5 witnessed the moment and spoke with the players.
Yo me siento contenta porque poder ayudar a que los niños puedan tener una vida saludable es algo que yo como madre puedo sentir bien, porque puedo ayudar no solamente a un hijo mío, sino también a los niños de la escuela. Mi nombre es Samaris Rivera Sainsbury, trabajo aquí en la cocina de Eden Primary School. Cada niño que está aquí en esta escuela es como si fuera un hijo nuestro. Cada preparación, va hecha con esmero, con amor, con dedicación, poniéndole todos los ingredientes necesarios, los nutrientes que ellos necesitan para que pues tengan una vida saludable.
To me, it's not just a program, it's not just an initiative. It's something that will help them to develop a better lifestyle. As citizens, we want to be healthier. And as the national plan says for health, by 2030, if I'm not mistaken, we are supposed to have a healthy nation. And so this initiative has helped us, in a sense, to build better citizens and citizens who won't get sick that often.
It's time to wake up, move, and feel amazing. Get your heart pumping and your energy flowing with Morning Boost, a fun and dynamic workout show to kickstart your day. Whether you're a beginner or a fitness pro, we've got the moves to keep you motivated. So grab your mat, set your alarm, and let's get moving. Morning Boost, weekdays at 6 a.m., only on Channel 5.
At this afternoon's press conference, our colleague Maricel Amaya had a heated exchange with Shine Barrow over Justice Tawanda Honduras' ruling about the return of the UDP headquarters and the party's assets to the Central Executive. The confrontation escalated to the point where Barrow demanded Amaya correct what he saw as a misrepresentation of the decision.
I think it was a misrepresentation of what that decision was, because when I asked your attorney to point out, I had read the entire thing, but you all kept insisting that the decision spoke to you as being the one real true leader of the UDP. It did
so who is the central executive of the UDP?
It did not say that. It said status
quo. Who is this? You didn't.
In terms of who were in this building.
No, so you didn't read the part of the order?
I read everything.
So there's no mention.
You all were misrepresenting.
There was no mention of returning the headquarters.
It said status quo ante. So whoever.
So it did not say. It did not say return to the central executive.
Continue to control the headquarters.
Marisol, you're saying the order did not say return to the central executive of the UDP?
I don't recall if it specifically said that.
Okay.
But they have gone ahead and established their own headquarters because they are also claiming to be the rightful leadership of the UDP. And there is nothing by way of a ruling at this point that concludes definitively that matter.
Okay, I'll show you that you're wrong right now.
But
no. You cannot say things on national television that are inaccurate. Ma'am, you just said that the order does not mention the central executive of the UDP. Ma'am, no, you read that. You read number 4. You read number 4. Read number 4. Read number 4, ma'am. Read number 4. Read number 4 so that everyone could hear.
The status quo ante is restored by granting immediate custody and possession of the property located at registration section Lakay Block 45, parcel 00969, the UDP headquarters and chattels belonging thereto or located thereon to the Central Executive Committee of the UDP.
All right. Hold on. You just said that you did not remember hearing that. So correct yourself. Can you correct yourself?
The heated exchange eventually pushed Barrow over the edge, leading him to call Amaya by an inappropriate name. Here's how the fiery back and forth unfolded.
You refuse to be honest and straightforward with the public. Yes, I'm accusing you of being very unethical right now because you refuse to state for the record who is the central executive of the UDP.
I'm saying...
What are you saying?
That is inconsequential.
All right, brother. Whatever you say is inconsequential is inconsequential.
No, because you were saying that that decision said you were the rightful leader.
That is exactly what it says.
No. If that is what it had said, then you would have gotten...
No, I would have gotten the UDP headquarters. I would have gotten Wave. I would have gotten the Guardian. What has changed? What has changed to give them any credibility or any authority to operate as the UDP?
That will be decided when the judge...
No, it has already been decided. That is why we're in the UDP headquarters. So Wave is inconsequential, the Guardian is inconsequential.
That decision said that she overtook it illegally because she did not have
And
the
that
right
and that decision,
documentation.
that decision also returned the headquarters and the assets to the central executive of the UDP. So I am asking you again, who is the central executive of the UDP? Or you don't know? All right.
The persons, but I'm saying
Well, I'm telling you. So if you don't know, don't speak ignorantly. Don't speak as an ignoramus. The central executive of the UDP is the party leader, the deputy party leader, the party chairman, the deputy party chairman.
With the 2025 general elections just around the corner, the United Democratic Party's internal dispute remains unresolved. Today, the Belize High Court sided with Tracy Tager Panton, dismissing the 2 contempt claims brought by Moses Shine Barrow. Panton remains steadfast, insisting there's only one United Democratic Party, and in her view, Barrow isn't part of it. Despite her numerous attempts to mediate with Barrow, he has consistently refused. Now, as Panton puts it, that ship has sailed.
How many times have you been aware of us keeping the door open to Shine Barrow and his followers take place in the interest of the party's affairs, in the interest of the people's affairs, in the interest of the country's affairs? And he has said no to mediation at every juncture. I certainly believe, and I will say no categorically, unequivocally, that ship has sailed for us. We will move forward. Up to last week, we made that we extended that invitation, and he was so sure that he was right-footed on this matter that he dismissed it, and he said publicly he had no interest in mediation. He, as far as I'm concerned, has closed that door.
With less than 2 weeks to go before the official nominations for the 2025 general elections, the UDP still hasn't announced all its candidates. Tracy Tager Panton has confirmed that Lee Mark Chang is her choice for the Mesopotamia constituency and that she'll be using red on the ballot sheet. Here's more on that.
We certainly have not officially sent out a flyer declaring who our candidates are, and we haven't officially launched that. There will be an appropriate time when our delegates will be formally introduced. And let me say, the United Democratic Party has 31 standard bearers vying for the election. We maintain that 31 were those candidates who went to a contested or endorsement convention, with the exception of MESOP. And the MESOP matter came to be when the executive committee of MESOP sought an audience with me and asked for a new standard bearer, which is their legal and constitutional right to do. And so there is now a new, based on the strength of that, the new UDP standard bearer in MESOP in the name of Lee Mark Chang. There is one United Democratic Party that has 31 candidates vying for election on March 12th of this year. As far as I am concerned, there is one UDP. I don't know what determination or consideration will be taken by the Election and Boundaries Commission. The ROPA, the Representation of Peoples Act, gave that discretion to the Election and Boundaries Commission. However, I am certain that they will have to take into account the judgment from today's hearing, where the preferred position of Shine Barrow has not been entertained.
Earlier this week, we reported that Jose Uke Espat has thrown his hat into the ring for the 2025 general election in the Albert constituency. Espat, who initially started as an independent party, has now joined forces with the United Democratic Party under Moses Shine Barrow. Today, Sheena Pitts, Tracy Tager Panton's chairperson, explained why they believe Espat isn't a legitimate candidate.
Don't forget the backdrop of the argument of Barrow and his counsel that status quo ante means before October 20th, and everything should be before then. So putting into its proper context, you can't really have it both ways. If status quo ante means, which we know are clear, know clearly what the court meant when it gave the order. But if we are to entertain his argument, and it means that status quo ante is prior to October 20th, 2024, then it would mean those standard bearers prior to that. And certainly what Honorable Panton is saying, that the standard bearers under the UDP are those standard bearers from then, with the exception of the Mesopotamia division, where the constituency committee invited an audience and indicated that they are no longer desirous of being represented by Barrow. And so there was a departure, and by the UDP constitution, which permits that to happen, and the procedure was followed, and there is a different and new standard bearer. So although we like that there are persons who want to put themselves forward for service to the people and country, unfortunately, you ought to be cajoled into boycotting procedures to get yourself in the foot of a person who can properly serve under the UDP banner. So in short, Mr. Espat did not enjoy his position through the procedural regulations of the UDP. And so it is the Honorable Panton's view that he is not the rightful candidate for the UDP in the area division, in the Albert division.
After the break, a disabled baker is traumatized after a police raid. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
At RF&G Insurance, we're committed to safeguarding what matters most to you. Offering coverage mile after mile, our offices and agents located across Belize ensure that you are protected. Secure your property with RF&G Householders Comprehensive Policy. From your home to your belongings, we offer protection so you can enjoy life to the fullest. For more information on your coverage options, contact our team of experts today or visit your local agents. We'll be ready to assist. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Belize is our home, a land of promise and opportunity. At Belize Government Lotteries Limited, we're not just about luck. We're about making a difference. Through our partnership with the National Health Insurance, your support allows us to strengthen healthcare systems, bringing quality medical services to communities across Belize. We're empowering our youth by funding programs in sports, because every child deserves a chance to shine. When you participate in Belize Government Lotteries, you're not just playing, you're investing in the future of our nation. Together, we're building healthier, happier, and stronger communities. For we fun, for we profits, for we Bolido.
Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you. I done.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that touch line bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that touch line bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up your brand, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's Smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
DIGI, or National Telecom and the Cycling Federation of Belize, with the support of DigiWallet, the Belize City Council, M&M's Engineering, and Powerade, proudly bring you the 28th running of the Digi Valentine Cycling Tour in collaboration with the Belize Tourism Board. 3 exciting days of high energy and intense bike racing. Stage 1. Friday, February 14th, the fastest of the fastest proved themselves in the time trial on St. Thomas Street, starting at 6 p.m. Stage 2, Saturday, February 15th, the fast-paced road race starting at the Digi headquarters at 8 a.m. on St. Thomas Street in Belize City, heading to the Orange Walk roundabout and returning back to Belize City, ending at the Digi Signature store on the Philip Wilson Highway. The third and final stage takes place on Sunday, February 16th. 2 laps along the San Antonio circuit in the Mountain Pine Ridge. Takeoff time is 9 a.m. Come support your favorite elite under-23 masters, women and junior riders. Can't make it out? Follow all the stages live on the Digi Facebook and Cycling Federation pages. The annual Digi Valentine Cycling Tour 2025, February 14th, 15th and 16th. Don't miss it.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
On December 8, 2023, the government of Belize took over the Port of Belize Limited, and the interim board they appointed is still in place. Since mid-2024, the Christian Workers Union, CWU, and the PBL's management have been negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement for the stevedores. On January 21, 2025, the CWU issued a 21-day notice of industrial action to the Minister of Labor. In response, the minister set up an Essential Services Arbitration Tribunal to resolve the dispute. However, the CWU argues that the government can't just rely on this tribunal, which includes 3 government representatives out of 5 members, to fix the mess they've created. The CWU has warned the government, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, and the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industries that moving forward with this flawed tribunal is nothing short of a farce and a tragedy for the workers and the people of Belize.
Our concerns surround the fact that it does not bode well for the CWU, its members, and all the workers of Belize, that the government owns the company, the government has its management that has not made a decent offer to the stevedores, and then when we reach an impasse and we indicated such and we sent a notice to the minister, the government turns around and impanels the tribunal, and the government again chooses its 3 members to sit on a 5-member panel. No matter how you cut that, no matter how you slice it, that doesn't look fair. There is no justice that we can await coming from such a makeup of the tribunal. And we don't say this to cause any slight on the members of the tribunal. They may believe, they may want to think that we're putting their integrity into impunity. We're not. We're not looking at the person, we're looking at how it looks on the face of it. We cannot ask the same government who owns the port to set up a tribunal to give us justice.
The CWU has pointed out the flaw in the Labor Minister's decision to set up the tribunal. While the law does give the minister the power to form a tribunal when a notice of industrial action is received, the principles of natural justice and fair practices mean the current tribunal can't be seen as impartial.
We are asking the government to do what it needs to do to come clean. You own the port, you can make an offer to the stevedores, you can resolve this matter. Cost of living has gone up for every single worker in the country of Belize. Every single household can tell you, what I used to buy with $100, I can no longer buy that. My bags are this tiny when I go to the stores. And the government knows that. We have a statistical institute. It has explained that from month to month. So the government, we're asking them to come to the table, make a decent offer, and close the deal, resolve it to the extent that you don't need to empanel a tribunal, which is a farce in the face of the Belizean people, whom you came to on the 8th of December 2023 and said that we took over the port. We acquired the port for the people of Belize. It now belongs to the government, but you still continue to take us down the same road that the other person took us. How can that be just?
Tonight, a local baker has come forward with a harrowing account of her experience with the Belize Police Department. Dylan Isigeri, a disabled baker from Dangriga, claims that on Thursday night, police stormed into her home on suspicions of her selling cannabis and possessing illegal guns and ammunition. She alleges that the officers overturned the baked goods she was preparing to sell and is demanding compensation for the loss of her goods and the emotional distress she has suffered. Isagiri, who was charged once back in 2023 and has been diligently paying her fine, further alleges that one of the officers disrespected her and even kicked her wheelchair. She suffers from a stress-induced autoimmune disease, which she says has worsened since these raids began.
This is like the 10th time that they've come to my house, and it's over the course of the past year and a half, because last year I had gotten arrested and charged for some marijuana that they had found in my house. It was my personal. I didn't believe it, so they put a trafficking charge on me, and I wasn't happy with that because, I tell them what is the main reason that I use it for, that I use it for herbal medicine. Yes, I smoke weed, but the main reason I'm using it is for, my remedies and for my medicine for my son because, I am disabled. My mother is also disabled, but my son, he is special needs. He's not just disabled. They keep harassing me, not even my personal. That's the part that really hurt me yesterday because yesterday they were roughing me up and I had like less than 2 grams on my table. And they're still accusing me of selling weed. I do not appreciate the way how they disrespect me as a disabled woman. Because, I know how women are, sometimes we'll have scuffle and we're back and forth, but that's not the way to treat someone in my position that's disabled because, she kicked my wheelchair while I was trying to stand up to make me fall. She disrespected me, she disrespected my stuff, and I feel unfair and I feel like I should get compensated for the cupcakes that I had lost. And also emotional damages. After they left my house and after I did that live, I was so upset that I was physically sick, like my hands were shaking and I felt like I wanted to vomit.
Former senior accountant Ivan Ayuso is still behind bars after admitting to 1 count of theft and 3 counts of money laundering. He embezzled over $1 million from the government of Belize and has been sentenced by Justice Nigel Pilgrim to 4 5-year terms at the Belize Central Prison. These sentences will run concurrently starting from September 27, 2024. In a detailed 22-page ruling from the High Court, it was decided that the forfeiture of Ayuso's Belama property will be addressed separately. This comes after an application by the Crown with his wife, Tanya Savory, who has filed for divorce, stepping in to contest the ownership. Tonight, a family is mourning the tragic loss of a loved one after a fatal traffic accident in the Corozal district on Wednesday afternoon. Around 3 p.m., brothers Gaspar and Santiago Canton were driving a Chevy Tracker on Sarteneja Road when Gaspar lost control, causing the vehicle to flip multiple times. When the police arrived, they found Gaspar bleeding from his face and Santiago also injured. They also noted that the vehicle's license plate was expired. The brothers were rushed to the Corozal Community Hospital, where Gaspar sadly succumbed to his injuries. Santiago has since been released. When we return, Sabrina Daly takes a look at rebuilding life after finding hope after loss.
Our older persons deserve to live with dignity and respect. They built this country, and now it's our turn to care for them. Under Plan Belize, we've taken significant steps to improve the lives of our seniors. We've expanded the Boost program, launched the Roving Caregivers program, and included seniors in our low-income housing initiative. We've made healthcare more accessible by expanding the national health insurance and removing primary healthcare fees. We've championed the rights of our older persons by enacting the disability legislation and signing the Inter-American Convention on Protecting the Human Rights of Older Persons. The government of Belize is committed to ensuring a better tomorrow for all Belizeans, especially our elders. Plan Belize, delivering on our promise to protect our older persons.
Come back tomorrow, make a school up again. Still a 3 pointer away at the calf, right? Hola. Boy, you alright?
Something wrong, yeah?
Something have to wrong because you're well distracted.
No, man, at the top of the street light. The one there around my areas, nice and pretty. Watch how this one look dull and orange.
Because this one, the HPS. So if you see any other old fixture, report it to BL, and BL will change it to the bright LED one. Then you see one where they talk about, just like that.
But how you do that?
The thing easy. Make I show you something. All you need for do, that go in your BL app and click the option where say street light fault, enter your location, put in the 7-digit number from the pole, press report, and left the rest to BL.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Have an old fixture? Report it today using our BEL 24/7 app, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you, I done.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that hotline bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that hotline bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up and run, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last. My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Yeah, your clippers. Clippers.
Hussein, we are perfect. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together. When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that new squeak the Mvule.
I hate this school!
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Losing everything in a fire is a life-changing ordeal, but for Emelina Molina, it was the start of an inspiring journey to rebuild. When the flames turned her home to ashes, she was left with nothing, but she wasn't alone. With the unwavering support of her family, community, and a group of dedicated volunteers, she found hope amidst the devastation. Now, after months of uncertainty, that hope is becoming a reality. This week, Emelina finally has a new place to call home. Sabrina Daly shares her uplifting story in this week's segment of On the Bright Side.
For people already struggling to get by, losing everything in a fire can be a crushing blow that tests the limits of survival. This nightmare became a reality for Emelina Molina on December 28, 2024, when her home, a sanctuary amid financial hardship, was reduced to ashes.
That was an ugly feeling, I really tell you. It's an ugly, ugly feeling. When I run out and I went on the roadside and I watched that house blazing in fire, all I can do is bawl out. I cry out because I run out with one suit of clothes on my back and nothing on my feet.
When disaster hits, having a strong support system can change everything. When all seemed lost, it was the steadfast support of the family that laid the groundwork for hope. Their encouragement and determination transformed a moment of despair into a chance to rebuild and find resilience.
And I told my sister, hey, let not your heart be troubled. I said, this is done. We're going to start a new life all over, and the next chapter will begin in Boom.
Philip Molina describes his sister as a determined woman who faces challenges head-on and never backs down. After her loss, her strength shone through as she placed her trust in those ready to help.
And what's significant to me is her family and her friends have come. I was really worried because we had all women, but I know they're hard workers. But I was still worried. But when all these men showed up, her nephews and her brothers, and I'm like, oh, thank you, God. I mean, it was wonderful, and it's a real community spirit here. I feel it. It's very tangible.
At the heart of this transformation is Sister Luke Boyarski, a missionary with the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, whose commitment to service has touched countless lives. Partnering with Hand in Hand Ministries, she led a team of 9 women who took on the challenge of constructing Molina's new haven in just 1 week.
I've gone 22 builds, and this is by far the best. We have a women crew, all women. It would be 10 of us, all women, 9 from the same family. They were dedicating this house in memory of their sister, who was a Sister of Charity of Nazareth, Sister Mary Patricia Brennan. So they're all here, they're working away, and they're so happy to do this in her honor, in her memory.
All I have got to do, that thanks each and every one who come out and help me, and also my brother, and good Lord. Thank the good Lord that one door is closed, another one is open, and thank him so very much for him, because I get down on my knees and I pray every day and night. I don't know how to thank the good Lord for it, and he answered my prayer.
The love and generosity that surrounded Emelina's journey went far beyond just bricks and mortar. It was the spirit of community that truly carried her through. Emelina calls it a miracle. Her new home was built with dedication and hard work. While the flames may have taken her house, they couldn't take her hope, faith, or the unwavering support of those around her. Thanks to the kindness of strangers and the love of family, Emelina Molina's story is one of resilience, rebuilding, and the incredible power of community. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
A true story of love in action. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, happy Valentine's Day. Goodbye.